Hello, welcome to We Do Things. Today's video is about going down to Florida to see a mouse about a lightsaber. Normally not a big feat, but right now we are in late September, early October of 2020, which means that we're in the middle of COVID. This video, hopefully, if you're interested, will show you kind of what it's like to go down and try to enjoy yourself amongst a lot of restriction. So sit back and check it out, and hope you like the video. The first thing you may notice while traveling is that there's extra measures for sanitation. We end up wiping down all of our surfaces when we first get on a plane, even though the airline staff has done it before we got on. The airports are practically abandoned. In the middle of the day, you'd be surprised at just how few people are actually there.
Has it?
Our first night in Florida, we didn't even go to the Disney park. Actually, what we did is we stayed outside so that we could go to Universal City Walk. This was kind of the first eye-opener for us. One, it was very humid and muggy, and with the mask on, it's very inconvenient. But what we were more surprised by is just how few of people were actually there. The park was closing, which should be the big time for this area, and it was slow. This is Disney Springs, Walt Disney World's retail area. My favorite thing here, obviously, is the Lego store, which has a lot of life-sized Lego sculptures. This is Melanie and I, and you may recognize the Incredible Hulk. Inside the Edison restaurant. This is T-Rex. It's a dinosaur-themed restaurant here in Disney Springs. I was pretty excited to go to this place. We had actually seen the pictures and things of it before we got there, and the reservation was actually a little bit tricky to get. It was, it wasn't super fancy. The food was just okay, but the atmosphere was pretty interesting. All of these animatronic dinosaurs and such. There's a meteor shower that goes on every few minutes. And I think I would recommend this place. It's actually pretty fun. This is Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. This is Jumbo House. There is actually two different segments of this, each with its own wild animal savanna in the center. Luckily, we requested a room that actually looked out onto the savanna, so we got a pretty cool view. Not to mention a very interesting storm a couple of nights. So we were here just for 2 nights, and then we moved on to a different one. So take a look at this. The storm was actually strong enough where it knocked out our television. I guess no HGTV for us for a couple of hours. In the daylight hours, there was a lot of pretty scenery, and if you looked really carefully, you would see quite a few little critters. This is the interior of Sanaa Restaurant, an Indian-themed eatery in the resort. It has a legendary bread service, seemingly known throughout the resorts. This is an example of social distancing within the park. This is one of the buses that would take us from the hotel to the parks and back. This is Saratoga Springs Resort. This is where we stayed for a majority of our trip. It is across this little man-made lagoon from Disney Springs, which was shown earlier in the video. This particular resort has an equestrian theme, and they say that it is a representative of upstate New York in the late 40s, I believe. Magic Kingdom theme park. We got here October 1st, just at the beginning of their Halloween theming.
Hey! Who won the skeleton beauty contest? Who? Nobody.
For the health and safety of your face coverings must always cover your nose and
Once you get a few steps into the park, you realize you've got a lot more empty streets. And the picture of Melly and I and the Mickey pumpkin. This is Spaceship Earth. It's what's inside the big globe at the heart of Epcot. This is the inside of Test Track presented by General Motors. Inside were many, many examples of General Motors' future innovations. Pick this up in the America Pavilion in Epcot. That's good. This was the main building for Epcot's Food and Wine Festival. As you can see, not a whole lot of people here. This is Mission Space. Here's a picture of Melly and I in front of the Tree of Life at the Animal Kingdom. It's the beginning of our day here. These are the floating rocks above the line queue on the way into Avatar Flight of Passage. This is one of my very favorite non-movie themed line queues. This is actually the Sherpa village that leads up to Expedition Everest. These are wild animals that can be seen in Kilimanjaro Safari. Animals from this park are used for the ones that you see at our resort.
3 feet tall and
This is the entryway into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Once you pass through, you are at Black Spire Outpost on the planet of Batuu. This was extremely intimidating. A full legion of First Order stormtroopers and one of their TIE fighters. This poor droid turned the spit all day long. This is Ronto Roasters. We ate there twice. It was so good.
Looks like we all got some scrap metal recently.
We did, yeah.
I don't know.
That was fun.
You know we have the paper clip. So you can change the color of the grade.
Wow.
I don't know what the chance is. I think it might be on the force.
This is Doc Ondar's Antiquities. After you got done building your lightsaber, you could go in here to get accessories for it. You could also check out all of the greatest props that the galaxy has to offer. This is a life-sized IG droid, similar to the one that you've seen in The Mandalorian, and a life-size Wampa monster. Pretty scary, really.
call ourselves the Gatherers. We search the galaxy for ancient relics. Now, to some of you, this may look like a lot of old junk, so I want to clarify. Some of this is new junk. You've heard the legend of Luke Skywalker, yes? Yes, of course. Two people have heard of Luke Skywalker, all right. Saber is a reflection of its builder with the force flowing between them. Today you will feel that connection. Are we ready? For the most important element of any lightsaber, which is the kyber crystal, able to focus the energy of the place that keeps your hands from being disintegrated. This is important. We start with the chassis, and then we'll put the crystal in. Next, we go to the activation plates. They come in sets. Congratulations.
Yeah, for what
Right there, those writings. Those are runes. That's the alphabet. You know what it says? That's how old it is.
So sorry, I need you to stand back on that dock. You're all done, I can check it.
Now, has anyone been exposed to the stormtroopers today?
It is time. Your journey.
It's time. Time to take our first step. The bond between Builder and Saber is about to be forged. Step forward. Place your hand on the hilt. And activate. Builders, raise your lightsabers. You've done it. You built a lightsaber like the Jedi and the Sith that came before you. Like them, you too would change the galaxy. Remember, it only takes a spark.
This is an example of the literature that they handed out so you could decide what style of lightsaber you wanted to build and determine which kit you would get. I picked protection and defense. Now that you've seen the video on Salvy's workshop, I was just going to show you what I made. This is the lightsaber. Once I got it home, I had a chance to weigh it. It weighs about 3 pounds. The pieces are all metal on the outside. In the video, you saw that I selected the blue kyber crystal, but outside the shop, there's a place where you can buy other ones. So I bought this purple one, and I bought this red one. I was just going to show you real quick how that changes when you add those in there. The first thing is the detail on this. When you try to light it without the blade in the end, has this sort of short circuit sound. You take the blade and put it into the end. Makes a cool noise. Turn it, and you see the blade is blue. Matches the blue kyber crystal that's inside. So what you do is take the blade back out. You take it back apart. And you see there's the blue one inside. Okay, get your purple kyber crystal out. Take the blue one out. Place it with the purple one. purple. Okay, assembled with the purple crystal inside. The blade back in. Now you turn on the blade. Oh, purple now. It's also got a different sound at the end. It'll change both of those things when you put the other crystal inside. So, oops. Boy, I'm not careful. I take an arm off. Okay, now this is what I also want to show you. This one is the red one. Now the red one is kind of a fun thing that they do there. If you wanted the red crystal, you could have selected it. However, when you buy it outside the location, there is a 1 in 100 chance that there is actually a black obsidian kyber crystal on the inside instead of the red one. I've been told it will behave the same way as the red one does. It'll just look different when you put it inside the hilt of the lightsaber. So I waited to do this until I was able to get the camera going. So let's see if for some reason I was lucky in this. And it looks like I got the standard red crystal, which is still cool. It's good to keep around, and I can add that to my lightsaber. These little guys, if you buy a Coke or a Sprite or a Diet Coke from a street vendor in Galaxy's Edge, they come in these cool containers that look like bombs, thermal detonators, and they have the Coke and the Sprite logos are written in the language that was made up for Star Wars. So let's put those out there too. So you may be asking yourself, was it worth the money? Well, it was $200, and that included the lightsaber, all the parts that go along with it, a nice case to put it in to bring it home on the airplane, and the experience itself, going in and doing the build and the atmosphere of the whole thing. It's not something you just walk in and do. You do have to book an appointment to go in. So there's only a certain number of people that can do this per day, and it does seem to fill up. So does it worth it? I think it's worth it, but I love this sort of thing. So you can decide for yourself. So thank you for watching.